Are you ready to turn your potential into performance? If so, you're in the right place. This is the Coach Bru Show, and here's your host, John Brubaker.
Welcome to the Coach Bru Show, Performance Report, episode number 501. The inconceivable is not impossible. There are 7.6 billion people on planet Earth, and every single one of us has potential. Let me define that for you. Potential, an adjective. Having or showing the capacity to become or develop into something in the future. The potential to rise or fall. Well, what then determines our trajectory? We rise or fall based on our willingness to take action. Action in the face of fear, action in the face of the unknown, action in the face of overwhelming odds. Being predisposed to taking action is the difference between winning and losing. Taking action whether you're feeling 100% or not. Action whether you have all the right tools and resources at your disposal or not. Many people give up not knowing they were like one call away or one action step away from victory. My question for you is, how resourceful are you with limited resources? I ask because time and time again, I see intellectual resources trump financial resources. There's never been a greater example than the case of Luke Combs, country musician. As a college student, Combs was a bouncer at a bar in Boone, North Carolina. And a fabulous article I read in the Tennessean, Cindy Watts tells a story of Combs wanting to trade his bouncing job for an opportunity to play music at that same bar in the evenings. The manager is concerned the noise would disturb the tenant living upstairs. Combs said not to worry because he was actually the tenant upstairs. So that night after last call, he grabbed a mop and took the opportunity to audition right there that night singing a Garth Brooks song. That bar became his first regular gig every week. Think about it. No guitar in hand and no mic, no access to a mic. Just a mop doubling as one. He didn't have all the tools he needed, but he made the sale, so to speak, anyway, because he sees the opportunity to take action. In what seems now like a meteoric rise, Combs went from playing in bars in his college town of Boone, North Carolina, to achieving stadium status on the national level. Well, in reality, that meteoric rise is actually a series of incremental small wins strung together. Small daily progress towards your goals is like compound interest over time. Luke Combs made 2 EPs which he self-funded back when he was living in North Carolina. He knew exactly how much they cost to make, and shortly after his arrival in Nashville, he decided he'd produce a 6-song EP. But since he hadn't had his last 2 EPs mastered, that's a form of audio post-production, he never factored that cost into the production of his new EP. So his producer told him it'd cost $200 a song to have the music mastered. The only problem was that Combs didn't have enough money to have all the songs mastered. He had exactly $200. So he could only afford to have 1 song mastered. When he went back and he listened to his song Hurricane, he felt like the first take of the vocals sounded good enough to use. So instead of waiting, he took action. Combs used the $200 to have Hurricane mastered. He put the song for sale on iTunes himself in the hopes people would buy it and that he could fund the rest of the EP. And boy, did they buy it. Within the first week, it sold 15,000 copies. He had no record deal at the time that he did that. The song went viral online, Online sales followed, and then he got a record deal. Hurricane actually ended up becoming a platinum #1 single. And what you hear on the radio is the only time he sang that song in studio. He did the vocals in one take. He took action, folks. To quote Combs from a Rolling Stone interview, I love this. I think you're going to love this. "I've always been a small goals kind of guy," he says, explaining how he went from aimless college student to booking arena gigs. "When I picked up a guitar, it wasn't like, okay, I'm going to be Kenny Chesney. It was like, I want to play a chord. And then it was like, I want to play another one, and then play a song, and then sing while playing the song." Why do I share this with you? Well, because you should approach your work the same way. Big wins don't stem from any one big act. They're a product of momentum. And you manufacture momentum by creating incremental small wins for yourself on a daily basis. Now, don't just take it from me. Harvard researcher Teresa Amabile studied a group of knowledge workers, asking them, what was the greatest source of job satisfaction? She also surveyed their managers. The managers responded with answers like money and recognition. But when she surveyed the knowledge workers, money and recognition were dead last on their list. The top source of job satisfaction was small daily progress towards their goals. Amabile's research team found that something as simple as making meaningful daily progress in the short term boosted not only satisfaction, but also motivation and productivity in the long term. Now, that's important for all of us to understand because that's something we can manufacture every day. We can manufacture our own momentum. In business, it could be something as simple as setting the goal to reactivate 3 relationships in your network, or making one quality new connection on LinkedIn before the close of a business day. How about this? Making one extra sales call every single day. You might be thinking, I'm not in sales. Well, we're all in sales in some way, shape, or form, and selling is a numbers game. And if you think about this, if you made one extra sales call each day, that's almost 250 additional calls over the course of a year. Talk about momentum. How about this? Just like Combs' EP, if you have part of your project done, bootstrap the rest of it by leading with that best stuff you already have done up front so it can finance the rest of it. Small daily progress towards your goals is like compound interest over time. It pays dividends. Remember, the inconceivable is not impossible. Last thing I want to leave you with is, as we head into the holidays, spare yourself the agony of fighting Black Friday crowds, or worse yet, getting trampled at a Walmart when the doors open. Shop online. Give your employees or loved ones the gift of some books. And I've got you covered there. Just go to coachbrew.com, click on shop and books. There's all kinds of books there that you can show your employees you're invested in them, or show a loved one you care about them. Give them the gift of a book. Again, that's coachbrew.com. Until next week, make it a great one, and find a way to manufacture a win for yourself today.
Thanks for listening to The Coach Brew Show. If you're not currently subscribed to the podcast, sign up now on iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher. And for more information to turn your potential into performance, head on over to coachbrew.com now.